everyone. So we're going to start another panel discussion, expressions of you. If you could just gather in the front, we're going to get this started. We have a great crowd out here today, a lot of great panelists, which we're excited to interview today. Alrighty, so let's get started with the first of our panelists. Just introduce yourself, who you're representing, and just a little bit about what you do.
Hello, my name is Maximo. We represent Houston's, and I am an aspiring actor as well as stunt actor.
Hi, my name is Eric. Oh, that's what I sound. Oh, representing Houston's as well. I don't want to make it too long.
Hello, my name is Edgar Hinojosa. I'm also part of Houston's as well as Glitched Souls.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Ramon Brown. I am part of Houston's, of course, and I'm part of the team that comes up with like the creative processes as far as stunt choreography, ideas we brainstorm, stuff like that.
Hi, my name is Shaylin Young. I am the film producer of No Script on the Hill. Our film is being shown today in the film festival portion of today.
Hi, my name is Tim Carter, and I'm here representing Houston. I've been here probably 30 plus years now as a local artist.
Hello, buenas tardes. My name is Valdemar Rodriguez, and like many of our creators up here, I wear many hats. I am representing Alley Theater, which is the largest regional theater in the country. Adelante Studios, which we do theatrical release of films, and also Aeolian Manor Foundation, where we promote up-and-coming music artists. Glad to be here.
Hi, I'm Anita Cruz, and I am a singer-songwriter, pianist, and I founded Purple Suns Can Fly in 2006, and we have recording studios in the cancer centers at Texas Children's Hospital.
All right, so let's give them all a round of applause because they're out here. They're gonna give us a take of what expressing themselves means to them and how y'all can also do the same, right? Because expressing yourself, it's unique, especially when you talk about art. Art comes in many different ways, different shapes, different forms. It's beautiful. So I'm gonna ask the general question: what does expressing yourself mean to you, and like how do you do that in a way that's also empowering to others? Because you know what we do, others pick up on it, right? Whether it's film, you know, whether it's doing like art and acting and all these things, like you know, you're sharing talent, you're sharing some story, and it can also empower others to do the same. So how do you express yourself, and how do you empower others while doing that?
Thank you. Growing up, I did a lot of martial arts, breakdancing, things like that. So for me, expressing myself comes with body movement. And one of the, I think, the most fun forms that I found to do that outside of competition would be like to put it on film. So I can use these skills and trades that I've gotten over the years growing up, watching everything from cartoons, martial arts movies, playing outside with my friends, and now I get to do the same thing but put it on camera. So I like to express myself through storytelling that way. We've gotten to the point where we are starting to create the things we want to see in films that we're not seeing, and so we're trying to build a community where we can all do that together. So, yeah.
Similar. I choose to express myself through the art of storytelling and filmmaking. In No Script on the Hill, we wanted to bring awareness to not only our football program with our players, but as people, and understand their stories and learn who they were outside of being an athlete. At our HBCU, Prairie View University, we often get overlooked. Oftentimes, we aren't getting the attention or respect that we deserve. And we're hoping that through this film, by getting to know the players as people, that we'll have more supporters, widen our audience, and just bring more exposure to who they are by learning their stories. So I express myself also by helping them express themselves as well too. There's so many layers to these young men. They're multi-talented, and there's more to them besides just being an athlete. And so I hope that by this film, that in telling their stories, that it's also helping me to express myself through my art and my passion for helping them and telling their own. So.
Yes, the reason why I think that art is so important and powerful because it does express a person's feelings. And with me, all on canvas is the best way I can express my feelings through, I guess we could say, everyday life journey. Sometimes, life will deal you a dark day. And a lot of people get lost in that, but within my art and within my life, sometimes anybody could just take a deep breath and find beauty in those dark days. If we just care to just take our time to recognize it. It could be in the smallest corners, but when those dark days come and you recognize that beauty, that could be the first step in getting out of it.
So I think in terms of the skill set, that's not so much something that's kind of tangible. It's being true to myself and where I come from. So often as a proud Latino by way of Mexico, we are so conditioned to not talk about the challenges and the fights that we lived through and the experiences. So being true to that, and then by being an immigrant and in our stories, and then having the power of using the pen in writing our stories. That's using my experience to write the stories, to be able to put them in any kind of media format, whether it be in a song, whether it be in a play or in a theater, so movie. So that's how I express myself, by telling my story and our people's story.
So as a songwriter, I always felt that it was a sort of a portal into my own heart. And I wrote songs for many years and also helped my students write songs. And at the time that I had the idea for a studio at Texas Children's, all the technology had kind of come together where I could work with a child, write a song, record it, hand them a CD, and they could leave their lesson with a song. And so I was a visiting artist in the Cancer Center, and there was a very extensive arts and medicine program in the Cancer Center. And the music component was more just listening to music, more performance-oriented, where visitors came, like me, into the Cancer Center and performed. But there really wasn't a creative musical component where children could create their own music. And so since I'd been doing this for many years, for myself and for my own students, I had the idea that the Cancer Center needed this. And so what I found is that children who are really ill, they have a perspective on their lives and the lives of their family and just life in general that, some adults actually never experience until they're further along in life and facing their mortality. So I've been just fascinated by the way that a song, so it's a combination of words and music that has a really powerful opening to our interior worlds. And so that's basically what I do, is help kids to find their strength inside that they may not even know that they have. And it comes in the form of this very particular art form, which is songwriting. So, and some kids, they just want to write about, riding on a Harley, or, something fun, or a thank you note to their parents. But sometimes older kids, they really do know what they're going through, and they know they are living kind of on the precipice between life and death. And so they have insights that they want to capture. And a song is like the perfect art form to capture that wisdom. So it's amazing.
And, to that, there's some struggles that y'all have gone through, right? Like, y'all are sitting here because you overcome adversity in some kind of way, and you have such a unique story to share. So tell us, what have been the challenges that have gotten in your way, like roadblocks, that has, previously prevented you from fully expressing yourself?
Me personally, I can't speak for the rest of them, but me personally, one thing that I had that really gave me a lot of doubt, especially to pursue my art, was pretty much money, because I grew up very poor with my family. So obviously my dad encouraged me to look, whatever you do, as long as it has a lot of money into it, because pretty much that's what made him happy in a way. But for me, like the art, I want to inspire people. And I spent most of my life trying to figure out how I can make money off of this and at the same time be happy. And that's sort of the struggle I'm trying to figure out right now. But I'm blessed with these guys that I've learned that you don't need money to really like express yourself. All you really need is just use your imagination and be creative.
One of my struggles when it comes to just to answer your question, I think as creators, we typically go through every now and then a creative block. And that was one of the things that I've struggled with. When it came to editing each episode of our 5-part docuseries, beginning was the first hardest part. Beginning is always the hardest part. And it's mostly because I wanted to make sure that all of these players' stories were being told in a way that they would be proud, that their parents would be proud, that our audience would really be able to engage and enjoy. So my first priority is always the parents. You would think that it would be the players, but I really stick to what would the parents like to see. And a few of the parents are actually here today as well too. But their sons are involved. And so of course, whenever they see something that showcases someone that is very dear to them, being their own kid, their own son, you want to make sure that them and their family are being portrayed in a way that it makes them proud and it makes them say, wow, I really enjoyed that, or wow, you know, I learned more things about my son that I didn't know of, or thank you for, you know, highlighting our family and just letting everyone know, like giving them that exposure as to who they are. So my priority has always been the parents and then the players after, but then just making sure that the creative process of throughout would be something that I would also be proud of as well too. When thinking about telling someone else's story, I have to think about how I would want my own told. And so I want it to be in a way that is beautiful. I want it to be in a way that people really get to know who I am as a person and show that there are many layers to me as well too, but in a way that it's reflecting who these guys and these gentlemen are. So for me, it's always just beginning and making sure that it's creative, that it's engaging, that it's informative, and that after the episode is done and everyone has seen it, that it's educating. And hopefully after that they have more support, or they feel like, hey, I feel like I know that player now. You know, now when season comes, you're not just looking at a helmet and a number, but you're looking at Jeremiah Harris, who is a business management major and wants to do more outside of football and doesn't really care if he goes professional, but more so wants a well-paid salary job, like you guys said. Like it's money, but it's also not money, but something that'll make them happy, something that will make them proud of themselves. So I try to make sure that that creative block doesn't hinder me too long, and really just going back to, okay, well, how would I want my own story told? And then just reflecting that into them.
Well, I'm going to keep it real simple, and I think a lot of you guys can attest to this, is that one of my main struggles is getting up every day going to work, to a job that I don't want to be at. So as I would say, a person that put oil on canvas, we need time to do this stuff. And a lot of times just, you know, going to work on your everyday grind is not going to give me the time that I need to express what I really want to do. So my struggles are basically every day. Like we were talking earlier, I was talking with a guy, and we was expressing the fact that, you know, we could go to school 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, and then end up in a job that we hate to go to every day. So the thing is that, you know, a lot of people struggle with this, and they can really understand exactly what I'm talking about. But, you know, you have to pay the bills. So That's something we got to do. So my one struggle every day is just going to work and doing those 8 hours when I would prefer to be at home on that canvas, man. But it's like.
So for me, it's twofold. It's actually an internal challenge and then an external challenge. The internal is that, as a minority, as an immigrant, I grew up being conditioned that I didn't deserve things, didn't deserve opportunities, didn't deserve the scholarship, didn't deserve that training, didn't deserve to be a filmmaker, and so you pair that with my appearance, and then other people looking at me and going, is this guy a guy that cuts yards or that cuts a lawn? That they look at me, they don't think I'm educated, they don't think I can, write and put a movie in AMC theater, So those two challenges makes my job, as I'm sure that a lot of the minority individuals that we have that. We get stereotyped, and so we have to work, or at least I feel I have to work twice as much, and so that sometimes there's a disadvantage of that because sometimes the quality is not there or doesn't get there fast enough as if you didn't have these particular challenges. So those two are the ones that were very, very high early on, but now the landscape has changed. Now it's cool to be Latino. Ever since Ricky Martin shook his butt on video, it's like Latinos are in. So now I probably wear my Mexican cowboy. Don't mistake it with a Texas cowboy. It's a Mexican cowboy hat to work and my boots, and they all love the diversity where I go to work. And so now it's become a lot easier. So those challenges are no longer challenges. They were.
I really, in comparison to the struggles that I see every single day with the families and children that are very, very sick, I cannot say that I've had significant struggles in my life that I've had to overcome. As an artist, I've just always been really excited to create something new, and so I try to create something new every day that's my own. And I think if you just take your body to the task every day, whether it's first thing in the morning at sunrise or when you get home from work, you just take your body to the task and start. And if it becomes a practice, then it's strong enough to move through whatever challenge may come up. But in terms of working in the cancer center, I just have a perspective now about life that just transcends any kind of personal struggle that I might have. So
I'd like to invite our filmmaker here, an up-and-coming filmmaker, Patrick Torres, to take my spot here. He has his film being shown here, and I think I've already spoken up. I'd like for you guys to know him. I like to promote and uplift our people. So Patrick, if you could come and take my space, please.
I love that. I love that teamwork and just supporting each other. Well, y'all talked a lot about your struggles and like how you kind of go over overcoming them and not getting that creative block. I would say all of us here have some kind of passion, right? We have a passion. Like the reason we're here is because we have a passion that draws us here. Because we're in the creative scene, we want to learn more, we want to be more, and so everyone has this question. At least they ask themselves this question once in their life, like, what is my passion? Like I know I like this, I know I like that, but what is my passion? What am I called to do, to be? What keeps me moving? I want to know how do y'all keep passion alive? For all of us out there wanting to nourish passion and go all in and be expressive and creative, how do you nourish passion?
This is kind of a little bit personal for me because I'm a gymnastics coach full time, and I coach team gym, which is like a European sport. It's also done in the UK. So for my team, we have the only international team that can compete on the European level, which also can put us in a world championship level, which we're working on in the next 2 years or so, and hopefully making an Olympic levels competition. The problem with that is for the things that I want to do, I have to choose between whether I want to move forward in gymnastics or move forward in film. And it took me a long time to realize that a lot of times for our passions, we start to choose between one or the other and forget that we can have both. So instead of moving out and looking for all these avenues, I started to look around me and started looking for people who can help support me. And we've had tons of people that we went through as far as people we can work with, and the community base isn't really there, and we're trying to build that community base. So I've had to just sit back and say, okay, I'm going to do both passions. I'm going to work with this. I'm going to work with kids. I love coaching. I love teaching. And I'm going to try to use that also in the film industry that I'm trying to also break into. I'm not like very professional in it, but for my skill set, I want to use that and teach like the guys that are younger than me and show them that there's a way in that together we can do it here around each other, and then we can branch out from there. But you don't have to really choose between one passion or another. And I think I struggled with that for years. And now I just embrace both of them, and as opportunities come, I just try to take it as I can. So that's pretty much it.
For me, so the question was, what are we most passionate about? For me, like, it's family and those who are close to me, because I determine family based on loyalty. And I want to share that loyalty, pretty much show what loyalty really means through my storytelling and my acting as well. Because my main purpose in my acting and pretty much in my art is I want to inspire people. That is my main goal. And if I can inspire people to become better for themselves, because I've seen a lot of pain and I've seen a lot of broken families, and I just want to show through my work that, look, pain can happen, but instead of looking at what it does to you, look what it can do for you.
Definitely. Hello. Oh, dang, that was me. So how do I keep passion alive? Or how do I keep my passion alive? I find in the way I see things, like whenever I start to lose my passion, like a certain subject, let's say it's editing or editing a certain video, I'll find myself going to another video so I can keep that passion alive. If I get tired of filming, let's say, then I'll go to another aspect of the filming process, like maybe the color correction or the audio, the sound design. So I guess, how do I keep my passion alive? It's like, it's going through the avenues that are relatively within my passion. So maybe it's not so that I lose the passion, but more so I get bored of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So doing like another thing within that field to keep that passion going again is, I guess, how I keep it alive.
Money. Okay, well, it's not just money, but also being insane. But what I meant by that is keeping the passion alive is it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of money even. But that wouldn't really be my main answer. My main answer to keep the passion going is just to try again. There's going to be a lot of failures, but there's also going to be a lot of chances to just do things all over again. This also kind of applies to me, and not just in work and in film even, but even during my main hobby, which is mainly video games. Just try again. There's always another chance. And if you can let that chance go, then, well, what's the point of even chasing for success? Just try again.
I think with passion, it equates to happiness as well too. So in order for you to be passionate about something, obviously you want it to bring you joy, you want it to bring happiness, you want it to bring you peace. When it comes to filming, we know it takes a lot of detail. The sound, the visuals, the effects, just so many details that goes into it. And a lot of these details can take a really long time. It can be very time consuming. There are a lot of late nights and early mornings, and the hours can be really, really long. But whenever I get frustrated, I have to stop and think, okay, if I don't do this, what else would I be doing? And I can't think of anything else. So I know that this is what makes me happy, and that's how I continue to nourish my happiness. That's how I continue to nourish my passion, because I can't think of anything else that I'd rather be doing. And just keeping that in mind helps me to continue learning different effects, learning different styles of editing, learning that there's just so much to film. There's so many different categories, and learning about that and just growing my education with that, and then learning how to do that just continues to fuel my passion for it. That, hey, maybe I do need to stop looking at this for a while and go to something different. Okay, I kind of like this style of editing a bit more, and just keeping that going, because I realize that that's what brings me the most joy. That I don't think I can be doing, I'd rather not do anything else in this world besides catering towards my filming and my own editing style, and just being passionate about that. And when you're passionate about that, it shows. It shows in your work. Others can see that okay, in this episode, wow, they really cater towards this specific segment, or they cater to this topic, because you can tell. And so I think with just paying attention to the small details and really keeping in mind that, okay, others are gonna see this, and knowing that if you're happy about it, others will be happy about it too, and that's how you remain passionate about it whenever you get the feedback that, wow, that was a really great episode. That's what keeps me going.
Yes, I really agree with that sentiment. As far as you say, happiness that fuels passion, and that's exactly right. That's what keeps me going a lot of times. It could be a smile. I mean, it could be a walk in the park or run in the park. It could be a conversation with a good friend. It could be family gathering, or old cliche, beautiful sunset. It could be the most simplest things that keeps me going. Like I said, a lot of times I could find a lot of beauty in dark places, and there are times in life where you know it does get dark, but you never want to lose that passion. You always want to cling to those happy feelings, those happy moments. And that's the thing that really keeps me going. I know it takes a lot of energy to do that, like you said, but once you can be able to do that and find happiness in different places and different things and different situations, even a song or a movie or anything that you would, I guess, gravitate toward to make you happy. I mean, that's the key to keeping my passion to that.
This is a good question, because this is something I sort of struggle with. So for me, I'm doing a lot of things at once. I'm bodybuilding, I'm sword fighting, I'm doing MMA, I'm riding horses, I'm writing, I'm directing, I'm producing. So I get burned out a lot, really fast. And when that happens, you know, you start to question everything. Like, what am I doing? My friends are getting married, my friends are starting families, they're buying houses, and I'm just like sitting here. I have all this wide array of skill sets, and I'm just like, okay, but what of it? When I get to that point, generally I'll watch a movie that I love, and by the end of the movie, I'm like, yeah, that right there, that's why I'm doing that. Or because on my end, the acting, the creative part, like the acting and writing, is such a small portion of it. All the other stuff seems very tedious, but when I do complete the very creative aspect of it, I feel very alive, right? I'm like, well, if I feel like this doing this, like, nothing else is gonna make me feel like that. And there also is a little bit of anxiety there, because I did competitive bodybuilding for 16 years, and being young and doing that, like, that's all I wanted to do, that's all I thought about. And I never made it as a professional bodybuilder. And also now, the passion that I had when I was younger doing that is not there anymore. I also started a business at 2015, right after college, which kind of got killed during Corona. But I remember initially starting the business, that's all I wanted to do. I was just crazy about it, so obsessive over it. But now the same thing has happened, where like the passion that I had when I started that business isn't there anymore. And so there is that little bit of anxiety, like, well, what if this happens with filmmaking? But when I recall my childhood and sort of how I got to where I'm at now, film has always been the thing. I just didn't know it when I was young. It's always been the thing that I've always wanted to do. And now that I'm doing it, it feels weird, but watching a film I really love and that feeling, it's what I want to replicate. It's what I want people to see my film and they're just like, I don't know how to describe this, I don't know what's going on, but that right there, that's it.
Which film is your film?
Here, it's social depression.
Which room is that?
Room 3.
Room 3. I want to see that.
I see it. Super.
Gosh. Well, there is, for me personally, no greater feeling than creating something new, whatever it is. The creative energy that we all have access to all the time is what moves through us, that keeps us alive. So that feeling of creating something new activates being alive. And so lately I have been waking up before sunrise, and I'm fortunate that I can actually see the sunrise every morning. But actually outside. So you're outside, you're seeing the sunrise, you're feeling the rays of the sun hit your eyes and your body. And the sun is something that every human being has access to, like all day long. And so I highly recommend, if you can get to a place where you can see the sunrise on the horizon, it will invigorate you to do what you need to do today and every day. But we forget that there is a sun. We forget, and we forget to look at it. We forget to realize that we're all here and have access to like infinite energy. So, wake up and watch the sunrise.
I love how we ended it with that, like connecting with the Pachamama, right? With nature itself. Now, for those who came in a little while ago, I just want to know, what is your ultimate impact? You know, with expressing yourself, and y'all are all creatives, but what's the ultimate impact that you want to leave behind? And then also fill us in, give us an inside scoop. What's next? Because, you know, we have the impact, but we want to know what's next for you. You know, what can we look forward to on y'all's projects, on what you're working on? Let us know.
I think the ultimate impact I would love to leave is something for the next generation. A lot of times there's miscommunication between people who are doing it and people who are getting into it. And I would like to leave like a pathway. It sort of say like, hey, this is the blueprint. These are the steps we took. We grabbed a few friends. We did this. We did that. And try to explain to people a little bit more that like a lot of things that we're doing is novel. Like this stuff is new. How long has film been on TV? How long have we been televising art? Anything? Like a lot of these things are very new and novel, so we shouldn't be afraid to like express these ideas and put something out. And I want people to get into a habit of just doing it, like put it out there. And so if I can do anything, I would like to like express that with my friends. Like we should do more, put more out, do more with other people, and kind of build a community that does that, if that makes sense.
For me personally, the impact I want to leave behind is, like I said, inspiration. I want people to watch what I do and just be inspired to create something, or either that, just become better. I grew up with talking to my friends. We always talked about, you know, these make-believe characters and how they are these amazing aspects and how we kind of want to relate to them. Because deep down, the characters we enjoy, whether it's a fictional person, whether it's a real person, like deep down we relate to them in a way, or we want to be something like them. And I want to create a character, or if not myself, want people to look at me and be like, yeah, I remember he did that character, and I love this character because so-and-so did this, and I want to be great like that. So that's something I want to do.
want to inspire and drive. As far as like what's next, I've always had like a dream to do like a live action anime or like some bring something like to life, or I don't know. I'm still working on like what I really want to go for, but I know I really want to try and do action, go ham with that, and whoever wants to be a part of it to just let them come on and we can be friends or something.
Now, speaking for myself and for my crew, not Houston's, I'm so sorry, guys. But one story has already ended. Well, more like one story has already started. And so, if you watch the film that was in room 2, which was called Glitch Soul's A Tengu's Tale, you'll kind of realize that there's more than one person there. I mean, I'm not talking about just you, just, but not the camera guy. But physically or mentally, there are 4 entities. I'm one of them. But it's up in the air for now for the other 3 members of Glitch Souls on how their stories want to start. It could be in a different format. It could be in film. It could be comic. It could even be an audio drama. Who knows? But for me, that's kind of up in the air. But leaving an impact, one thing that would probably say that doesn't require a lot of words, embrace your soul. What I meant by that is a human body is not just part of the whole. What lies beneath it is your soul. Fight for it. Chase after it. Embrace that other side of you. Because who knows? You too may be a glitch soul as well.
The impact that I want to leave behind is diversity within the occupation of the Black woman. Growing up, I was aware of the positions as you could be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, you can be a teacher, an educator, but I don't recall ever really seeing you could be a producer. You could be a digital media major. You can be a director. I don't recall really seeing those creative outlets. And so for me, I have a very, very large family. My grandmother had 12 children. And that means I have many, many cousins. And so I want to show them that, hey, the younger and even the older as well, that you can be a lot of things. You can be a producer, you could be a director, you could be a creative arts person. You don't have to cater to just the positions and the jobs that they're teaching you in school, but that there's so many things that you can be. And we didn't really see I didn't really see a lot of Black women in the creative or television field growing up. Not to say that they didn't exist, but back then they weren't as prominent as you see today. And so the impact that I want to leave behind is showing that we can do this, and we're really good at doing it as well too. As far as what's next, I want to finish this first, but in sports and just still storytelling, these players, and more so at a collegiate level, and then hopefully taking it to professional, but really just showing how diverse HBCUs are, how diverse the community there is, and then hopefully following them into their journeys after their college years have ended. So.
Well, for me, the most important thing is just to be able to leave behind a tangible object to where it makes people feel a different way. Say, for instance, like we're seeing all these paintings and short movies and music that's left behind. But to be a part of that, to where I guess it's okay for my kids or my uncle or my nieces and nephews to say, look, my cousin did that, or my uncle did that, or even my mom said my son did that. I mean, that's nice, but my main objective is to reach anyone. I mean, anyone that could set their eyes on something I did, something I would say that I can't take credit for the things that I did, but the thing is, because sometimes I'll paint and I'll just sit back and say, I know I didn't do that. So I know I have a whole lot help above that's helping me complete these works, but when I see the finished product, I can say, hey, I left behind something that will make someone feel a certain way. But the next thing for me to do is the largest painting that I've ever tried, and I think it's going to be about 60 by 72. So that's in the works.
Impact-wise, I don't want to just entertain. I want for people to see my film to have some sort of profound experience. To leave the film having at least maybe some questions of life in your head about everything. And as far as for my next project, those will definitely incorporate all my skill sets. Because this initial film was more of, can I make a competent film with good technical structure? And then the next film, I'm like, okay, well, let's start to incorporate all my knowledge of sword fighting and everything else that I know. Because I could do it competently initially, I could do it even better with the direction that I want to go in. Yeah.
So I feel like I've created something that will live on, and the songs that have been written already will live on in the children and in their families. Me personally, as an artist, I just want to keep growing and understanding more about the creative process for myself. But mainly just to inspire other people. Like, I think we all feel that, being an artist, that you do have a responsibility to your own artistic journey, but also to how you're going to share it and the way you're going to share it in the world. So just learning about the best ways to share what we do, and because I think this world really, really, really needs to come to understand that all human beings are creative, and all human beings have access to their creative energy, and that if we, as artists, we know we're artists, and so we know we can inspire other people. The more people that we inspire, the better this world will be, and the more we'll feel connected with each other. So I think for me, it's continuing to dive in deeply to my own understanding of creativity, so that I can share that more profoundly with others. I just happen to have created something that I do with children, but with my own songs, I share them with not just children. But I think we all have a responsibility to really, really understand our own creative process, so that we can share it with others, so that they can activate theirs. Because you don't have to be, or think of yourself as an artist for your profession, to be an artist in the world, and to be an artist of your own life. So I feel really strongly about this, and I feel like the world right now needs artists to understand their responsibility, and to share it with however and whoever and in whatever situation they're in, because it does make an impact when someone can feel their own creative energy. They will live their lives differently. They will see themselves differently. So, there.
Well, thank you so much for sharing how you express yourself, the struggles you face when doing this, fueling that passion, the impact you want to leave. Like this is all gems, And I think like y'all, by all means, talk to them right after the panel discussion, right, on a one-on-one basis. But just want to say thank you for being here, for sharing your story, for sharing more of who you are. And this is our panel discussion, everyone. Just a round of applause.